So last time we met, we talked about Jesus choosing his first apostles. Now, do you remember Simon, who Jesus later gave the name Peter, and his brother Andrew? And then James and his brother John, they were fishermen who left their boats and their nets to follow Jesus. Then, of course, there was Matthew. His name was originally Levi. He was the tax collector. He knew he was a bad man, but he also knew Jesus could forgive him, and he left his tax collector's booth and all the money behind to follow Jesus. But actually, Jesus chose 12 people to be his closest friends or apostles. So let's meet the rest of them. There was Philip, and there was Bartholomew. Then there was Thomas, who's a particular favourite of mine, but I'll tell you about that another time. There was another James. There was a Thaddeus. There was another Simon. And there was Judas Iscariot. I'm afraid that Judas later turned against Jesus and betrayed him. And some of you might remember that from last Easter, and we'll talk about it again another time. Now, Jesus taught his apostles all about God, and he also taught them how to teach other people about God. Now, one day, Jesus and his 12 apostles were walking through Galilee on their way to a village called Capernaum. And Jesus' apostles were having an argument about who of them was the greatest and the most important. Now, we don't know exactly what they said because the Bible doesn't tell us the exact words, but it might have been a bit like this. Well, we think we're the most important because we were the ones that Jesus chose first. Ah, yes, but we were there too. We were chosen at the same time as you. Ah, yes, but it was my boat that we all got into and caught all of those fish. Oh, yes, but your boat started to sink and Jesus had to call us all over to help you. Well, actually, I think I'm the greatest because I actually had a big party for Jesus and I invited a lot of other people to meet him too. You didn't actually introduce Jesus to any of your friends, so I must have done better than you. Yes, but your friends are tax collectors. I've introduced Jesus to some really nice people. I think I'm actually doing better than any of you. Well, I can tell that Jesus really likes me. I think I'm probably the greatest of all. Well, I'm sure that they all had something to say, but I'm not sure that Jesus was very impressed. When they arrived in Capernaum, they went to the house where they were going to stay. And Jesus asked them, what were you talking about when we were on our way here today? You see, they didn't really want to admit to Jesus what they had actually been arguing about. I think they were a bit embarrassed. But you see, Jesus, being Jesus, knew exactly what they'd been talking about. He is Jesus after all. He knows everything. Come and sit down, said Jesus. So they did. Right. Listen to me, said Jesus. It's not about who's the best, or who was first, or who was last, or who invited the most people, or anything like that. Well, Jesus, what is it about then? It's about who puts themselves last. Last that counts. Last? 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 Yes, last. But what really counts, what really matters, is not thinking about yourself, but thinking about other people and putting them first. Now, Jesus didn't actually say this, but what he was trying to explain to the apostles was this. If your friend comes to visit and you have 2 chairs, one is comfy and one is, well, not quite so comfy, give your friend the comfy one. Or if you have 2 slices of cake and one is bigger than the other, give your friend the bigger slice. It's putting others before yourself that counts. Then some people came along bringing some children to Jesus and asked for Jesus to bless the children. The disciples got up and told the people off. Jesus doesn't want to be bothered with children. Take them away. Yes, Jesus is far too busy and important to have to worry about blessing children. Away with them all. Jesus came over and he took one of the children into the middle of the group and he put his arms round the child and he said, if you welcome a child like this, you welcome me. And if you welcome me, you welcome God my Father. In fact, you all need to become like children. All of you. Stop thinking about who of you is the greatest and just accept me like these children do. You see, Jesus doesn't care if we are rich or poor, if we are fishermen, like these, or tax collectors, if we're old or young. He doesn't care what colour our skin is or whether we're disabled or able-bodied. He just wants us to accept him like little children do. He loves everyone the same, and he came to save everyone who will accept him like a child does. So now we're going to do our craft to help us to remember that.